Dan, it's official. Reggie Jackson is behind the proposed hotel in Seaside. It's an exciting time for People's Kitchen. They served their first meal here today, where they served about 50 people. It's not as big as the last place they were in, but a place they can still call home for now. Aaron, parishioners who've been coming here since they were younger can't believe what they're seeing and hearing, and they're amazed at the richness and history behind what's being discovered. This was a biggie, some stiff competition. Kids as young as 9 years old came out from all over California to compete to see if they could grab the big prize. What a mess for morning commuters. Some waited an hour in that traffic since that stretch of highway is only 2 lanes. Dan and Aaron, the Ag Commissioner's office says Steve Rodoni is ready. He will fumigate on Monday despite protests from the nearby neighborhood. Alisa, police are confident that this is an isolated incident. They're not telling us how they know this, but they say that it is isolated. And they say that they held on to the description of the suspect the last couple of days because they wanted to protect the investigation. People in this neighborhood consider it to be quiet, even though it's close to a main intersection in Seaside. They can't believe what happened.
It just took me by surprise that it happened, especially in my block, because we're a block away from the police department.
Beltran has a wife and 2 young kids. He says now he's thinking about extra security for his home.
I think that's like a good lesson for them to get to know that things are going on anywhere, not only far away from them.
When asked why the description was held 2 days after the alleged rape, police claimed they got enough information from the victim to handle the situation.
If it was a situation where we didn't have some ideas on who this person might be, where this person might be, and we're looking for that type of information, certainly we would have put something out.
Deputy Chief Vernon says it was a tough situation where they had to weigh what was best for the investigation in trying to catch the suspect.
We didn't want to create a community in fear for their safety any more so than we had to.
So, Milrose, do the police believe that the suspect is no longer in the area? Is that they feel that this person doesn't pose a danger to anyone else?
Of course, they're telling everyone to protect themselves by closing their windows and just be aware. They're not giving any specifics as to what clues they have on this suspect. They are not giving us those answers just yet. Aaron, police told me that the baby was living inside the garage, just sleeping on a blanket on the cement floor. After 2 weeks of staking out this home, police brought in a SWAT team for a morning raid. Neighbors say they suspected something was going on. They just didn't know what.
It's kind of scary to be right in your neighborhood or right across the street. I had no idea that they were doing anything like that. I actually thought it was farm workers.
Police found meth already packaged and ready to sell. The home was in deplorable condition.
I'm really realizing code enforcement can be one of the tools we can use to help mitigate the types of behavior and activity that we're concerned about in the community.
The mayor believes code enforcement can be another way to target crime, but people have to get involved.
The code enforcement issues are all complaint-driven. You must call. But if you call, we respond much quicker than we used to.
For now, the house has been boarded up and deemed not livable. We're very thankful when it rains here on the Central Coast, and it rained a lot last night. But as much as that rain is needed, it did cause some problems for some people. The Central Coast saw so much rain, a father and his sons got stuck crossing the creek at the Oceano Dunes. Some locals say they know better than to cross when they see the water rushing and rising.
He's an idiot. We were all watching. Nobody else was going to cross.
Most say it's better to sit and wait.
I saw a truck going under, an expensive one. And it's just a matter of why people do that is beyond me. They come from the valley or they come from wherever, and they think they can just do whatever.
Kim Ward has been enjoying the dunes for 4 decades. Park rangers say they don't see stranded vehicles very often, but it's best to use common sense.
He had a brand new F-250 four-wheel drive diesel-powered pickup truck, and maybe because he was a diesel, he thought he could drive across the water.
Rangers say it may look safe enough to cross, but you never know what's developing underwater.
He hit an unseen hole, which they always advise you to not drive across heavily flooded stream beds, and he hit this hole and the engine stalled out and the vehicle started sinking.
The father and his sons are not hurt. They are home safe tonight. Reporting in Oceana live, I'm Milrose Basco, KSBY Action News 6. Local fishermen want to coexist with those who enjoy the coastline, but they also want to make a living. They feel these regulations are getting in the way of their livelihood.
Yeah, these are fresh, local prawns.
John Aliotti, just back from fishing, says he has seen too many fishermen go out of business because of so many rules imposed on them lately.
But, you know, it's not right what they're doing. We have a clean fishery, minimal amount of bycatch. We don't do no destructive damage to anything. And to throw someone out of business for no reason is wrong.
You know, they're making it harder for the fishermen to fish. They're closing seasons early and raising prices for licenses. And it's just a combination of everything. It's making it hard.
Fish and Game thinks it's right to protect the marine life and their habitats for now and the future because there are more and bigger fisheries.
In reality, what we're trying to do is provide fish for everyone into the future. And so we want those fisheries to be here now, and we want those fisheries to be here for everyone's grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
If we listen closely enough, standing right here on Point Lobos, we should be able to hear that our marine life is thanking us.
The Protection Act is broken into 5 regions, the Central Coast from Pigeon Point to Point Conception being the first area to have enforcement by Fish and Game. Aliotti says he was part of the committee who gave suggestions on where restrictions should be, but he feels no one listened. He thought there could have been a better compromise.
We wasted a year of our time because the sanctuary had their agenda, fishermen had our agenda, and the environmentalists had their agenda. Well, after all this was all said and done, the Department of Fish and Game, they put their own agenda in.
This is one of the perks of this job, experiencing beautiful scenery. The rain the past few days has made it very pretty on the mountaintops. We caught up with some that took advantage of the snow.
Yeah, let's make a snowman.
Make a snowman?
Yeah.
It's heavy. You want to make a snowman, right?
3-year-old Seth Patrick didn't care how cold it was. He just wanted to play in the snow. What do you think about all this? Good.
Hey, this is going to be a big one. Oh, you can put that on top? Put it right here.
Seth's parents surprised him with this trip up the mountain. They traveled from Hollister.
We were supposed to go last weekend, but plans changed, so we spent the last 2 hours looking for a good spot to stop. Oh, no, that's a big one.
Hours that was worth it just to see Seth have a good time in the snow.
Yeah, this is just, you know, a feast for the eyes.
Photographer Judith Keenan never gets tired of taking photos of the place. She comes back year after year.
No, I come in twice a year to supervise the construction projects during their work periods. And I'm a photographer too, so I always have my cameras with me.
Pretty, isn't it?
She hopes to showcase some of these photos in the Bay Area where she lives.
It's wonderful. For a photographer, it's heaven.